Hi everybody, Kaz here again today, but we have someone new with us, Misty. This is my husband, Staffordshire Bull Terrier. We're going to be teaching you the trick rollover. Now Misty hasn't done an awful lot of trick training before, so this is a little bit new for her, and we might discover some of the challenges that you may encounter with a relatively new dog as well. One of the things you'll need is some really yummy treats, cut up into little squares, something that's nice and soft, that the dog can digest nice and easily, because you might need to do a few repetitions. So what we'll do is we'll go over the trick. Ultimately what you want to do is get your dog to roll over from one side to the other, and because Misty's new to this, we can't actually show you the completed trick, but hopefully we'll get close to it before the end. What we're going to be doing is using the luring method, so we'll use the treat right on the end of the dog's nose, and we're going to manipulate her by getting her to follow the treat, which puts her body in the desired position that we're trying to achieve. The first position is to get her nose directed towards her shoulder blade, which will turn her onto her side, and then from her shoulder to the middle of her back, which will flip her onto her other side, and then we'll release the treat and reward her in that position. So let's see how we get on. Okay, ready? Let's go. So we'll start her off in a down, facing our dog, the treat on her nose, move it towards her shoulder, good girl. Then towards her back, good girl. And then flip onto her side, release and reward, good girly. Well done. Okay. You can see I'm using the release word, which is okay, and that's so she knows that she's finished doing what she needs to do, and we're going to start again. Let's do it. So, ready? Good girl. Down. No, treat to nose, nose to shoulder, shoulder to back, flipping over, release and reward. Good girly. Good girl. Okay. Ready? One more time. Misty. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to include the verbal command, which is roll over, since she seems to be getting it really quickly. Down. Roll over. Roll over. Good girl. Well done. Okay. Let's go. Let's try it again. Misty, come. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Roll over. Roll over. Good girl. So what we're going to do next is, once we've given a verbal command, we're going to slowly phase out the use of the lure and the treat, and use a hand signal and get her to follow our hand, and then retreat and then treat afterwards when she's in the correct position, slowly phasing that out and slowly phasing or minimizing that visual cue with our hand to be less dramatic into something more subtle. So let's see if we can get her to do it without that. Misty, come. Down. Roll over. Roll over. Misty, roll over. Roll over. Misty, roll over. Yay! Good girl. There you go. So as you can see, it took a little bit of getting to, but with a little bit more practice, I'm sure we'll get there. So the first thing is treat on the nose, nose to the shoulder, then treat to the middle of the back, hopefully getting her nose around to her back, which flops her onto the other side. Starting to incorporate a verbal cue, roll over, and then phasing out the treat and incorporating a visual cue, which is your hand signal, and delaying the reward of the treat until they've completed the action. So that's roll over. One of the challenges you might encounter with this is that your dog gets stuck on their back and won't flop over. So there's one thing you can do, a couple of things you can do to fix that. So we'll see if we can get Misty to do that. Misty, come. Come. Misty, come. Misty, come on. Sit. Down. We'll get her to go onto her back, and she might get stuck here. It's probably because our treat's not in the right place. So make sure her treat's right towards her back, and then they should flop over. If that still doesn't work, good girl. Misty, come. Misty, come on. Come on. Good girl. One more. Good girl. Down. If they get stuck on their back like this, and you can gently use your hands to put the feet over because you're stuck on the lounge. Try that again. Misty, come. Last one. Misty. Come on. Come on. Misty. Good girl. Sit down. Last one. Ready? Roll over. Roll over. Good girl. So that's the trick roll over. Good job, Misty. Well done. And hopefully you had fun with us while we did that and that you grasped the trick roll over. Most importantly, don't forget the freebies at the end. Good girlie. Good girlie. Well done. Yay. Good, good. Okay.